Hello, psychology students. Professor Zeeb here, and welcome to our lecture on emotions and decision making. What we're going to do here is sort of establish the connection between these two areas. And we're going to start off with how emotions serve a role in moral reasoning. Believe it or not, research has indicated that emotions play an important role in moral reasoning and decision making. In other words, there seems to be a strong connection between processing emotional information and actually making a decision. In other words, what we're saying here, theoretically, is that emotions may serve as our moral compass and help us when we have to make decisions in terms of moral dilemmas. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes we make horrible decisions when we're emotional, so that's not what we're really talking about. Here, what it is, it's sort of a gut instinct that you may have where you're in a dilemma and you have to quickly decide something. Our emotions may serve a role in terms of those notions. So as an example, we're going to go to this trolley example, which is given in your book. I think it's an interesting example. I want you to imagine that you're this person here. You're standing next to a trolley track, and oh my gosh, this trolley's screaming down the tracks and its brakes are out. It can't stop. You notice that there are 5 people on the track here. There's one person over here. I'm not quite sure why they're standing on the track and not paying attention, but work with me here, people. Let's just imagine that's the case. And you quickly decide that if I flip the switch over here, it will divert the track of the trolley and it will only go in this direction where it will unfortunately kill this person, but you will save the lives of these 5 people. So when we ask people that question, I want you to ask yourself, would you flip that switch? Well, it turns out a lot of people would. It seems like it would make sense. If you don't know these people, they have no connection to you, it may make sense to save that person or those people's life and only sacrifice one person. So a lot of people say that that basically makes sense, that they would quickly decide that and wouldn't have any problem with that. Now I want you to imagine down here on part B at the bottom, here you are again. You are standing on this footbridge and you're standing next to this sort of obese person here, as you can see. Once again, we have our 5 people on the track. Trolley is screaming down once again, and you quickly realize that if I push this person over the edge here, which obviously is a horrible thing, they will land on the track, they'll block the trolley, and unfortunately they will die, but you will potentially save the lives of these 5 people. So ask yourself this question, would you do that? Well, it turns out when we ask people this in research, people are very hesitant to decide, and probably less people would agree to that. Wait a minute, isn't it the same thing? Well, obviously it is not, because in this particular case, in part B, you're actually putting your hands on that person and murdering them, and so that is repulsive. So in other words, that gut feeling of, ooh, this is a horrible, horrible thing, may prevent you from making a poor decision, because if you think about it, guys, we have no guarantee that that person will stop the trolley and now 6 people have died. So in other words, it's kind of a silly example, but it shows the potential purpose of our gut feelings, which are often emotional. In this case, we are repulsed by the idea of pushing that person over the edge, and it could sort of lead us in the right direction of not doing that, which would be a horrible decision because you have no guarantee it would actually work. So once again, the point is that our emotions may serve as sort of a moral compass and therefore help us in that particular direction. All right, guys, so what I want you to do is go on to the next step in the class. There will be a video following this one on the page, so please progress to the next step.